Today on Theater Games, we're going to talk about one of the first games I usually play during the semester. Now, my philosophy in theater is that the sooner I can get a student to be shameless, the quicker they will become a good actor. So I run my class like a giant episode of Impractical Jokers. We go out and we mess with other students, all safely, and we play games where the students are put into situations where they have to do uncomfortable things. This first game is called the Shoebox, and this is what I'm currently using for a shoebox. The first year I played this 10 years ago, it was an actual shoebox, but since then that box has disappeared. And the box is filled with prompts, little short prompts that last anywhere from 15 seconds to 45 seconds depending. And we play 2 rounds of the game the first time we play. The game is designed for 10 to 30 people, maybe a few more depending on the size of your theater, and is really designed to get the kids moving and to allow them to do things that are somewhat embarrassing without anybody noticing, because everyone is going to be doing it at once. So when the game starts, each kid comes up on stage. The shoebox is sitting on one of my theater boxes, and each kid gets a prompt and they don't look at it. Then once everybody's got a prompt, I say, go. Everyone reads their prompt at once, and everyone starts acting at once. I'm going to give some examples of the prompts that I use in a minute, and at the end I'm going to have a relatively long list of some things that you can use to give you some ideas of what I use for my prompts. And one thing I found that is awesome is that when everyone is going, everyone realizes that no one has time to pay attention to you if they're doing something. Now, a lot of my cards are interactive, and I've had some extremely funny stories, which I'll talk about at the end with some of my students over the years. So I'm going to give some examples of the cards that you will see in the box. Some of them don't take very long. Some of them go to various parts of my theater, like up my stairs to my light booth, or out to my hallway, or what I call the secret hallway, and a lot of my cards deal with Doug Hernandez. Doug is my booth manager, who's a Jason Voorhees dummy up in the booth who sits there, and he's just Big Doug, and they very much treat him as if he is a real person. So a lot of my cards deal with going up and telling Doug things. Some of my cards are very simplistic, like this first one, explode, do it now. And the student just has to quickly explode. When they're done, they go put their card back in the box and they get another card and they keep going. The first round lasts 3 to 4 minutes. After the first round is done, I'll have the students sit back down and I'll ask them the question, what did you see going on around you? I tell them I don't want to know what you did. I want to know what you saw going on around you. And they'll start to explain some of the things that they noticed while they were also doing their cards. Then we'll do another 3 to 4 minute round, and then I'll say, what was your favorite card? And I'll let them speak about their experience. And then they'll tell me their favorite cards, and they get very animated about it. And a lot of the times it's like, oh yeah, I saw you do that. And it's a lot of fun. Some more cards. Pick your favorite chair and take it out to the water fountain and introduce them. They've got to pick up whichever chair is their favorite. A lot of times the student will say, I don't have a favorite chair. I was like, well, pick one. And they'll take their chair out to the water fountain. They'll set it down and introduce their chair to the water fountain. Meanwhile, other students will be walking by, and it goes to help me with my shamelessness concept. You are fast. Challenge someone to a butt scooching race across the stage. And that's what they butt scooch across the stage. And then they have to interact with someone. They have to draft someone, hey, you're going to butt scooch race against me. Have a wrestling match with an invisible gorilla that cheats. This is one of the many cards that deals with pantomiming things on stage, and a lot of the time students are so good at it, I know immediately which card they have. Your hand is stuck to the wall. Get someone to help you. That allows them to draft someone to once again interact with their card. A lot of my cards deal with their cell phone usage. This one says, text someone the following messages. 1, tell Lenny not to do that with the mustard anymore. It's gross. and then wait a few seconds and type, sorry, sent that to the wrong person. It just is one of those things that makes people go, what the? I like this one a lot. Poorly imitate the next person to draw a card as they do their card. This allows people to imitate someone very badly. Make someone do this with you. And it's a face. And it's one eye closed. And another one that gets you to work with your classmates. Go tell Doug where you want to go on your next vacation. This requires students to walk up the stairs, go into the booth, and tell Doug where they want to go on their next vacation. It makes them think a little bit, and it gets them moving, which is part of my warm-up activity. As a former PE teacher, I consider movement very important, and I try to get my kids up and moving as quick as possible. Go out to the big metal table and put your face on it for 10 seconds. The big metal table is out in the hallway, and students are always walking by, and my students are not allowed to explain why they're putting their face on the table for 10 seconds. Go to the boys' dressing room and list the ingredients of your secret chicken salad. I get a lot of questions about cards like this. I don't know what's in chicken salad. I said, well, make it up. Go upstairs and wave at people until someone waves back. Oops. Do this. And it is a stick figure doing relatively easy poses. Now, years ago, my principal came in right in the middle of a game of Shoebox, and everybody's going off, and it is chaos. And of course, I say stop, and everybody stops. My kids are good at listening with this. And I explained to him what we were doing, and he said, well, can I play? And I said, absolutely. And the first card he drew was this, and it was a card like this, wasn't this exact card? And he does all the poses, and at the end, he had to lay flat on his back and scream out the word burrito. Totally did it. And he played with us for the full time. It was a really nice experience. The kids really liked that a lot. Go fishing off the edge of the stage. Catch an unimpressive fish. I have kids take it off hook and go. Like, show how little it is. Pantomime a deadly fight against an overpowered mutant ostrich. You are victorious. A lot of possibilities there. This is one of my list cards. It says cry, recover, cry. Dance some, cry. Pantomime eating an egg, stop, cry. And then I have cards, sometimes I have a couple of cards in the box that are intentionally confusing and make no sense. And when a student inevitably comes up and asks me what this card is supposed to be, I say, it's obvious. This card says, notwithstanding, make it do what it does. Find south, go some more. End it all with lettuce. Germany soon? So that's meant to be confusing, and it always flummoxes my students. Now, over the years, I've had several cards that, and several moments that I thought were pretty fantastic. One of the first times I ever played this game, years ago, I had a girl that was brand new to the honors class, and the guys had noticed her as she was very outgoing, and she had drawn a card that stated, announce to the class that you don't have time for this because you have to go back to the back and use the bathroom. Now, she took this and ran with it. As I'm starting the game, I said, okay, 3, 2, she said, stop, Holland, hold on a second. Ooh, I can't play. I gotta go drop a deuce. Mic drop. Everybody in the class went, and she just walked off. It wasn't until we were explaining at the end of the first round that was actually her card, and she had absolutely owned it, which was fantastic. I had another kid one time, he drew a card that says, go and explain to someone that you're doing it wrong. And I had a girl that was in the audience lifting a chair over her head. And James walks out and says, hey, you're doing that wrong. You need to lift with your legs, not with your back. And she's like, and she just almost forgot we were playing Shoebox. She was like, James, it's a chair. It's not very heavy. And then that same girl, same game, a few seconds later drew a card that said, go to someone and shout at them. It's like, if they shout back, say, yo, dude, you just spit on me. I know, it's a little crude, but she did. She went up to this girl and said, ah! And the girl goes, ah! And she goes, oh, dude, you just spit on me. And the other girl's like, I'm so sorry. I have a lisp. I spit on people all the time. And and then Victoria got to say, no, I'm just joking. You didn't actually spit on me, and it was a good time. This game generally takes, after the discussions, 12 to 15 minutes to get done, and it is always a hit. I'm constantly adding new cards to the shoebox. You don't have to take old cards out. Sometimes I have hundreds of cards in here. I do tell my kids, though, to be wary that if they get a card that they do not think is appropriate, to come and ask me, because I have occasionally had students slip cards into the box, like go up and lick someone on the neck, something I would never ever put on a card. And I said, make sure, if you think it's inappropriate, come ask me and I'll either explain it or I'll throw that card away, depending. Students have a blast with this game. It's a good time. I would love to show it, but I'm not allowed to film students, which makes sense. But this game is a winner. At the end here, I'm gonna post some pictures of some of the other cards that I use in this game, and I hope you have a good time with it. Thanks.